Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're going to talk about Newton's first law in this quick video. Okay, and in Newton's first law. Now, so Newton was a scientist back in the 17th century, and he came up with a lot of the laws that that govern motion that we typically use in classic physics. Okay, you guys may have heard of this Newton's first law in middle school, but the first law says an object in motion, stays in motion. Okay, you can even think of this as kind of momentum. If you have something with momentum, it's going to contain that momentum. It's going to keep going unless acted on by an outside force. All right. Now, you could also say this as like an unbalanced force. Now, the other thing that that Newton says, an object at rest, stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. Okay, so if it's moving, unless there's a force, it's going to continue to move. And if it's at rest, it's going to continue to stay at rest, all unless it is acted on by an outside force. Okay, a quick little experiment here. So if you guys take a look at this golf ball right here, and it's basically lined up with this little line here. So I'm going to hit this this little box here, and pay attention really closely, because right in the beginning, okay, it's going to stay where it's at, and then finally friction is going to catch up, or the back of the box is going to catch up, and then it'll move forward. Okay, let's try this. 1, 2, 3. All right. So really, what happened there is I got a ball here, and so when I had that go through, it had what is called inertia. Okay, so it didn't want to move unless acted on by an outside force. So when I hit that, okay, there really wasn't much of a force there. When you had this object right here, okay, this kind of slid underneath it real quick. Now, eventually, that outside force that's going to cause it to move is either going to be the friction along the bottom or the actual back of this box that is going to move it forward. So, you guys, I want you to think about if you are in the car. If you are in the car and you sit down in the car, and let's say you are at a stop sign, you're completely stopped. And then the car accelerates, okay? And if it accelerates really quickly, you're gonna feel the back of the seat kind of push into you, okay? So what you feel like is like you sink back into the seat, okay? That is because you are at rest, and you're gonna stay at rest unless acted on by an outside force. So in the beginning, okay, the car is going to kind of push into you before those forces kind of catch up, and therefore you're going to feel that back. So the same thing happens if you then come up to, let's say, a red light that just started red, and the brakes in the car slam on. What do? You go forward. Okay, you go forward, and then your seatbelt would then stop you. Okay, and that's the same thing. An object in motion stays at motion unless acted on by outside force. So the car stops or slows down, and you keep going at the same rate that you were. So then you're sliding forward relative to the car. So it looks and feels like inside the car that you get thrown forward. Okay. Well, you're not actually getting thrown forward. The car is just slowing down faster than you are. And then finally, your seatbelt is going to catch you. And if you think about a car again, if you think about the headrest in a seat, the headrest in a seat is there to prevent you from getting whiplash, okay? Because here is your head, and here would be your body, okay? So if you get hit from behind, okay, that force is going to cause you to go forward. Your head is essentially stationary, and it wants to stay in place, okay? And if that little headrest wasn't there, okay, your neck would get flung backwards, okay? And it really doesn't get flung backwards. It is your body that gets flung forward because of the force in the back. So what happens is that little headrest is going to cause you to move along. If these two things are connected, then you're going to get forces that cause you to both go forward, and that is why there's a headrest, okay? You are also going to see a airbag. If you have an airbag right here and you get in an accident where you suddenly, your car suddenly stops, you're going to go forward. Okay, so in that there are sensors in the airbag that are going to sense a rapid deceleration. Okay, and when they do that, they're going to have this explosion that is going to let the airbag blow up. And what you do is then you hit the airbag, and that is going to slow you down more uniformly. If you didn't have the airbag, then your body, okay, would then get stopped by the dashboard, which would be really bad, and that's why people died way back when. Okay, so that was just a quick little explanation of Newton's first law.